What's up? I'm Patrick and welcome to ISW Reacts. Today I'm reacting to One OK Rock and their medley from the 2020 Field of Wonder concert. This was requested by Paul as one of his monthly requests included in my Patreon membership. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. He wrote that they've never done a medley before, and then they've done this and also have never done it again. I'm also really excited to check this out because I saw some snippets, I think, of the rehearsals when I checked out the Flip a Coin documentary, which, by the way, you can find on my Patreon. I'll link it below if you're interested, the full reaction to the complete documentary. And that medley definitely was a part of that documentary, so I'm really looking forward to seeing this in full now. If you want to be like Paul and support me and my channel, you can request a song on my Buy Me a Coffee page, or you can check out my Patreon, where you can find some exclusive content. Like I said, I checked out the full Flip a Coin documentary. You can also find a full reaction to complete One OK Rock concert live in Nagisain on there, and some other things. The links are in the description if you're interested. Thank you very much. Before we start, please also leave a like, consider subscribing, and now let's just get into it.
まとめてお前らにぶつけてやっからよ。そのお前らのいる特等席からしっかりとお前らの声届くぐらいぶちまけてくれ。よろしく頼むぞ。
This is so epic, the whole song. Taka's even able to create hype without an audience. It's crazy. Oh, I love this.
Let's go! We are alive. We are alive. 間違ったっていいじゃん。
think that was a fast bass change, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Let's go!
The chemistry is so awesome.
Take your time, what are you waiting for? 大事なこと忘れてないか何かのせいにして逃げてはいないかい僕らがそう感じれる喜びや悲しみを響きるためのスパイス Just try to try, keep moving on それもしなきゃもっと僕もなくなって本当にただ痛い目見るだけ Just so no time it can be alright We take it back 取り戻すのさ過去の自分が今僕の土台となるそう現実時を繰り返す It's a wasting time for your running yourself Are you ready now? We are ready now for tonight Are you ready now? We are ready now for tonight Are you ready now? We are ready now for tonight
That had a lot of energy and in a very fun vibe.
In this empty bed, well, I'm all alone. I've been such a mess. Need a one way to get anywhere you are. Is where I want to go. You are my address. I don't care how we get it.
I'm pretty sure I've heard this
One way
one
to get home. Need a one way to get home. Remember the night I had to leave you. You said it's alright, and I believe you. You know I'm no good at goodbyes, no good without you. Better by your side. Wish I could be there with you. I'm feeling lost without you. In this empty bed, well, I'm all alone. I've been such a mess. Need a one way to get anywhere you are. Is where I want to go. You are
It's also impressive how he changed his delivery from like this fun, energetic into this more emotionally driven song, like in a split second. It's awesome.
When you're not with me, these days are boring. Wish it were easy, like Sunday morning. When I've been waking up as you, only doing it makes me wanna do. My heart is anywhere you go. When I'm next to you, I'm home. Wish I could be there
think that was the best transition. I think this is a new song, right? Sure. So much breath. Oh, wasn't it a new song? I'm sorry. I love this drummer. Tomoya, right?
You almost forgot how it made you feel. You feel the edge, you knew it was real. Faded away, yeah. Stalling and no one ever told you. There's some to run, somehow to go through. But it's not enough. Watch it from the sidelines now. Yeah. Just let it go. When was the last time you faced your race? Your race. When was the last time you left your safe place? Your safe place. Just let it go.
Yeah, nice. Love his melodic guitar solos.
まだまだいけるよな。まだお前らの声こっち届いてきてないんだよ。どうなんだよお前ら。まだまだ行こうぜ。This is where I draw the line. Seen this for a million times. Looking for a peace of mind. Now you hate what will become. Say the word, let's be done. There is something in a way. I'm not always perfect, but I'm always myself. If you don't think I'm worth it, find someone else. I will say I'm sorry for being who I am.
also very catchy.
I know it's not easy. You can leave here anytime. You know it's just not right. I'm not always perfect, but I'm always myself. If you don't think I'm worth it, find someone else. I would say I'm sorry, being who I am is the end, a chance to start again. Because it's gotta be last one, come on!
That was so awesome. I loved it. I think you could also see it in their faces in the end that they were happy that and that it went so well, that they executed it that perfectly, because I think you could see it in the documentary that so much thought and so much rehearsing went into this medley, especially with the context Paul gave me that they've never done anything like this before. Also, seemingly haven't done it after that as well. So that makes it very special, and it's so good. It's so fitting, and the context from this Flip a Coin documentary that I watched makes me appreciate this even more, because of what I've seen, what all of them put into this performance, what they all think about, how involved they also are in the whole process, in pretty much everything, especially Taka, in everything that's not just music related, but everything around it, like the lighting and also choreographies, for example, in the end. That was cool to see when so bad at names, I said every time, sorry. Toru and Ryota, I think, guitar player and bass player, joined Taka in the middle from left and right, and Taka was already waiting for them, more or less. So I think that was, for example, one thing they choreographed before, so they knew that they were going to do that. And like I said, in the documentary, you can see that everything's planned. I would say hardly anything is is coincidence or spontaneous. They even rehearsed the camera positioning and everything, I think. So they knew what they were doing throughout everything, and not just concentrating on their music, on what they're playing, on what they're singing, but also on how they're performing, because it's so valuable to them to give a great show, especially in this context of this being in the COVID time. So they had no audience, and I think they're just a band that also lives through the energy they bring on stage and also the energy they get back from the crowd. So I believe that this was a huge challenge for them to put something up like that the whole energy, the whole vibe, the whole atmosphere still comes across to the ones watching live back then, but also me watching it now, and they did that perfectly. Another very impressive thing, I think, is that they have so many different styles in this one medley and still connected them pretty seamlessly. They have a great balance between hype and emotion, so to say. They have like the start with I Was King is the song name, I think, which is a great opening for this medley, I think, because it's instantly building this epic atmosphere, and it just has this big, huge feeling starting into it. But then throughout there were songs that were sounding more like fun, a little more playful, energetic, faster, even some a little bit heavier, small parts, and then also some moments, some songs that rely mostly on the emotion they are presenting, and with which they are delivering, especially Taka. I said it while the song was playing. This instant switch from this pretty fun, energetic track into a pretty emotionally driven song where it's more about the vibe, the atmosphere. He totally changed his delivery and also the way he was performing. So those are things I also find really impressive, that they were able to capture so many different styles, so many different vibes, so many different moods, and still it doesn't necessarily feel like abrupt cuts into the next song, but it's pretty smooth with also different ideas they used to transition from one song to another song. One time I think it was a little bass solo, then sometimes the drums were keeping a beat or playing a little solo. Sometimes it was like the backing track and the atmosphere that was fading into one another. So the momentum of the medley rarely drops, and the songs that come after one another sound good together. So the compatibility, I think I said it right, hard word for me, sorry, of the songs they chose is very good. And even though they did those clever and creative transitions, and don't play every song to its full length, to its full extent, the single individual songs still keep their core identity, so to say. And like I said, those core identities vary between the songs. Some have the energy as their main focus, some have the emotion, some have the catchiness, some have an epic sound, some are more rhythmically focused. Each member of the band had his individual moments with some great melodic guitar solos, like I said, that one bass solo, but also throughout the rest of the medley there were some very cool bass lines that went further than just playing root notes and keeping a simple rhythm, but some melodic lines, some great grooves, and also the drums. Obviously, I praise the drums all the time. I'm listening to UrhG Rock because I like his style of drumming so much, and in this one again as well, I think a very important part for a medley like this are the drums, because he's keeping everything in place while still adding some special flares, some spice, some great fills, some just variety and diversity into the groove. And then there's of course Taka, who does an outstanding job again of performing this. I can only assume that this has to be so hard to just, I said it a couple of times now, switch between different deliveries, and he does everything so perfectly. He uses his voice in different ways, sometimes with a lot of energy, sometimes more cleanly, sometimes he puts in some grit and sings with a little raspier voice. There were also a couple and one especially long note that he held, and that was very impressive again. And all of them did that while performing to a camera, which is unusual for them as well. Like, yeah, having this concert setting, but not being able to interact with fans, not get any response, so they have to engage with the camera, which they then do in great ways. I think Taka also mentioned that in the documentary again. He wanted to see the camera as the audience, so to say, so he's performing for them. He knows at the other end of this camera there are the fans that are sitting there, that are watching, that are listening, and that are also just wanting events like this back and wanting some distraction. So they also did a great job with that. So bringing the energy to the homes of people with a lot of charisma and this clear intent to connect through the camera with the people sitting behind the screens. So all of that is just additional to the perfect musical performance. So I think that was also worth mentioning because it's clearly a part of this great performance. Thank you very much, Paul, for this request. I really loved it. This was a lot of fun. We got so many styles, so many vibes in just one medley. Such a powerful and energetic performance, but also with its emotional moments and with its epic moments. It has great, clever and creative transitions between the songs. Everything is connected perfectly, while also being surprising, because every moment something can change and you don't know what song will be next and how they're gonna play it. It's definitely something that keeps you on your toes, that keeps you engaged, and they're able to create hype even in a stadium where there's no audience. So it's definitely just a great depiction of them showing their skill, their musical skills, their skills as performers, their creativity as songwriters, and all of that is even more impressive when you consider the background, consider the context that I now know of how much work, how much rehearsing, how much thought must have went into this, how involved them as a band and especially Taka as a person are into everything that's going on that stage. And then I think this performance also showed the great chemistry between them as a band again. I think there were some very cute moments they had, and they were having fun. They were giving their all to create a great performance in such a weird time and in such a weird setting for everybody. And I think that's very impressive, and it shows their skill in every aspect of this performance. Please let me know what other songs by them I should check out, or if you have any other artists you would like me to react to, please also let me know. Like I said, if you're interested in checking out my reaction to the full Flip a Coin documentary, the link is in the description below. There's also a link to my reaction to the full Live in Nagisain concert if you're interested in that. So check it out, and please also leave a like, consider subscribing, and thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.